great. I'm hearing street sounds. The whole time we were live with Tony, there was birds all day. It was crazy.
Yeah, with Tony Cavallero.
Yeah.
It was fucking like a fucking atrium. What is it called?
Who cares?
Aviarium.
I don't care. All right.
Aviary,
baby.
yeah.
Aviary, that's what it is.
We're doing it. Yes. You ready?
Yeah.
This is the Dumbbells, the personal fitness podcast where I'm Eugene Cordero.
And me, I'm Ryan Stanger, have discussions and answer questions on all things health and fitness.
This is solely based on our own working experience, a little bit of bro science.
So please keep in mind, we're not doctors, never claim to be.
Nope, just a couple of dumbbells, love ourselves some fitness, want to help you with yours.
And the help can start right now, baby.
Now,
right now, live on YouTube.
Let's unfreeze our guest for this episode. Nope, we haven't done it yet, but he did.
We're not doctors. We're just a couple of guys who love bro science.
Yes.
Sorry. Am I delayed at all?
Nope.
And action.
And delayed.
Yeah, I'm at Gabrus on all social media. Thanks for having me, Dumbbells.
Whoa. What a glitch. You jumped to the end. What's up, Gabrus?
Oh, not much, fam.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We're here on 421. I mean, your big day was yesterday, but today we're doing a totally, I don't know how opposite it is to that.
Yeah, it's a certain gear shift. It's an exit off the highway. I was imbibing THC and CBD all day yesterday. And now I'm doing that, but also talking about fitness.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weed in the fitness community now. And people, because there's the health component of, that's argued. And then also, but would you say, Gabrus, that it more overlaps with weightlifting than it does with like CrossFit and that kind of thing? Or are there like extreme athletes doing weed?
I'm sure there's some extreme. I think it overlaps the most with like outdoorsy activity people, like climbers and mountain bikers and shit like that.
Oh, really? They're weed. They're
That's the biggest Venn diagram overlap I've seen. Anecdotally, granted, I'm hanging out with very few mountain sports people, but a lot of like the surfers, skiers, snowboarders, hikers. A lot of those people I know are campers. They're all weedies. I see it a lot with like strongman and like bodybuilding because you could just get stoned and get a pump. It's kind of easy.
Yeah, I've seen that too. But yeah, all what you're saying does make sense.
Yeah, I can see on all of those outdoor sports. Definitely anybody who's like doing bouldering, I get it. Just kind of like,
dude, if you walk past a rock climbing gym in California, I mean that's a big overlap. Californians and rock climbing gym. Yeah. But there's like weed smoke coming out of Priuses and shit, like Subaru Outbacks and shit, and then like just dudes, just like long, lanky, fucking kombucha Jesuses with like stick and poke tattoos, climbing high as fuck.
A lot of sandals with brands you haven't heard of. You're like, I don't even know what those sandals are.
You're like, I can't tell if that's one piece of leather or 40 pieces of leather. Like, what the fuck are you wearing?
They're all Jesus sandals, yeah.
I want to mock them, but they might be cultural, so I'm like hesitant, sure. Like that kind of footwear.
Not their culture, but
certainly not their culture.
Yeah.
My grandmother was a Jibwa, and you're like, sorry.
Nepalese. You look very Nepalese.
You don't see a lot of cannabis with CrossFit, I think, because CrossFit is like for dorks, and I like it, and I was a fan of it for a long time, and I'll still use a lot of their practices. But it is a little bit for like straight thinking people, so that because they like the math, the numbers, the this, the that. Not a lot of stoners are like, I'm trying to tweak out an extra 0.2 reps on my AMRAP. Like we're all just like whatever.
I mean, it'll happen after the fact, like after they work out, but it's never a pre-workout of.
No, it's. If I had to do my impression of what I think a CrossFitter that smokes weed is like, it's like on Sundays after I do my long, slow distance, I eat whatever I want, 6 pints of ice cream, and I smoke a fat blunt. But then it's back to fucking 80, it's back to 60, 40, 40, whatever. The fucking shit.
It's all done in a collared shirt.
I wear head to toe Rogue Fitness, and then I spark a blunt. I wear tights with socks and shorts and sneakers, and then a long sleeve Under Armour with a tank top over it, and then 2 different headbands, sunglasses, noise canceling ear pods. Grab a blunt. I fucking love fitness.
Have you guys worn tights under shorts yet?
I have.
I have not
on a
since
run.
New York. Yeah.
Not since New York?
No, that was a big New York thing because I used to ride my bike to the gym. And in like December, it was brutal. And I didn't like lifting and working out in sweatpants.
Yeah.
Right.
And my tights, I mean, now there's like a movement for dudes to wear tights with no shorts over them. I see like there's like Nike has some styles that are like they're capri tights that you wear no shorts over. I'm like, bro, you're not gonna catch me with my fucking little smushed up ding-a-ling upside down in a pair of fucking black tights trying to do lat pull downs.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever worn them to the gym, like to a gym. I think I've only worn them on runs so that it stopped chafing.
Oh yeah.
Hold your balls in place.
Nope.
Yeah, because I've seen like guys do it. I've seen guys do it a lot under shorts. I have seen a few that just go the full tights, but it seems like, and I feel like I even see where the tights are attached to the shorts.
Oh,
really kind of like a dickie for like dorky fitness people, you know.
I have a few like that. They're just like it's built-in underwear more or less,
but it's full tight, right?
Not to the ankle, but like to the quad. It is like a bicycle short built-in underwear. And then I have some that are like jockey built-in underwear, but those are like more running shorts. But I like them for the same reason Huge does, because first of all, if I wear my normal, shout out Mack Weldon, cotton underwear,
hey, they're not our sponsor yet.
I know. I'm saying, let's put it out there.
I mean, actually, they are.
They are. We're doing some ads coming up. Yeah, they're in the pipeline.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mack Weldon.
So just remember, Mack Weldon, promo code Mighty.
No,
Dumbbells, Dumbbell Mighty. Yeah. Got it. You guys got it.
Dare do that.
Bro, if you take $4 out of my kid's fucking mouth, I'll fucking.
We're fucked.
Why is your kid eating money?
He likes it.
If I wear cotton underwear to go running or in the gym, when I take it off, it's like shredded iceberg lettuce. It's like wet green and like all stringy, and I'm like,
yeah. Put it on a Subway sandwich
with some
oil
mayo.
Vinegar.
Yeah.
Oil vinegar.
Mike's way.
Just major development here. You've gone full buzz on the head. You had a mohawk last time.
Yeah.
And now it's just you took it all the way down. What is that? A number 1, 2?
This is a number 2. This is a number 2. I went with it. I just went with it because
it looks great.
Yeah, it just reminded me of my youth.
Obviously. Yeah. I said to Eugene, it makes you look like you're like 25 again, and he goes, yeah, I think it's because you met me when I had a shaved head and was 25.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, fair enough.
Like this.
I thought, yeah.
Yeah.
You wish you had traps back then, bro.
Yeah, you're right. That's what my waist looked like.
Yeah, this is a personification of my belt. Yeah, you look, it makes Huge look younger.
It does. You got a good round head on you.
Mm.
You got good ear silhouette.
I'm also glad I'm like not having too bad of a receding ish.
So. Yeah. No. You don't have the parking spaces aren't too big there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels good.
Yeah, you're benefiting from your light widow's peak. I've seen some people that really exacerbates what the parking's like.
Yeah.
They're like, my hair goes to here and then goes like from here like this. They have like Dennis Hopper and Mario Brothers hair.
Do you remember seeing early Dracula stuff with his widow's peak and trying to like unpack that? Right? It's like what I was like, what is that? Like, what is that point?
Yeah.
And, I was like, why is that a thing for Vamp? Because it was between him and Eddie Munster were the only times I've ever seen it that bad. So I was always like, oh, it must be like a thing for monsters, I guess.
Yeah, it's like we got fangs, we've got eating people or blood. I was gonna say eating blood, they more drink it. I guess you could eat blood if it's hard enough.
Platelet heavy, you know.
Platelet heavy.
Yeah. If you let it simmer down into like a nice thick sauce.
Yeah, if you do a blood reduction, you just cook it down like it's port wine. Pour it over a duck and go fucking in.
Or you just get like a nice, you put a bowl, a nice metal bowl in the freezer for a long time, and you just whip the shit out of it.
Yeah, and make a blood meringue.
Yeah, yeah.
There's definitely
Stiff
some
peaks upside down. It's not going anywhere.
Stiff peaks of blood meringue.
Stiff peaks and then widow's peaks.
Yeah.
And you're in business for
and we're done with the episode.
Weird. That Dumbbells YouTube we did is huge in small pockets of vampire Reddit.
Fucking blowing up in Transylvania.
Crazy.
Bro, so many Transylvanian listeners.
Huge following over there.
Gabrus, what have you been doing? You just clip your beard down, or you just letting the hair go?
I've been just doing a light, getting rid of some of the flyaways, but I've been letting it go. I got some beard oil. I've got nothing going for me, but a lot of these podcasts these days, because we're all Zooming, are like, let's just put the video out too. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. Like, yeah. I'm trying to look gross. I'm already at default level gross.
It's
Give
funny.
me quarantine fucking gross.
Yeah. But it gives us, I guess it just gives us like accountability a little bit more.
To be fair, I did almost do this episode in the shirt I wore yesterday. But then I was like, wait, I was on live streams yesterday. Anyone who's in this weird, any other like person who's locked in or can't do anything about changing the YouTube channel they're watching might see me 2 days in a row.
Yeah, you'd have some fucking video live broadcast Sherlock Holmes getting to the bottom of the ear in the same clothes and fucking exposing your ass.
I was gonna random tweet in like a month. At Gabrus, did you wear the same shirt 2 days in a row, bro? Question mark. I'll be like, I don't even know what this is in reference to.
Did you work out yesterday, even with like the whole days of?
Oh yeah. So let's bring everybody up to speed. So yesterday was Stoner
420.
Christmas, 420, big day for Gabrus.
Correct.
Known pot enthusiast and professional.
Yes.
So you had a very busy media day doing live shows. Where you talk about weed, you smoke weed, you do everything.
Yeah, I did a 4:20 Eastern to 4:20 Pacific live stream.
Oh, whoa. I didn't realize it was Eastern Pacific time.
Yeah, it was 3 hours. And, you know, there's a reason live streams and podcasts are usually around an hour and a half. But I had fun. I don't mind getting twisted and yelling at my computer screen. But no, in interest of full disclosure, I wanted to work out yesterday before all the live stream shit started. So I felt, because that's my method of exercise. I use cannabis as my carrot. It's like, as soon as you're done getting a workout in and getting some work done or getting the reading done or this chore or whatever, then you can blaze and fuck around and watch movies and stuff.
Oh, okay. So you do. I wasn't sure if you did it only post workout or if you do a little bit pre-workout or anything, or like
sometimes I'll do pre-workout, and that's when the carrot isn't working at all. If I'm like, all right, go on a couple of mile walk and bring it, and you're allowed to bring a joint with you. You know what I mean? Like then that's when I'm at when it's like, all right, well, go smoke weed and go fuck around in the ocean at least, or go, you know, like do something that's like remote. And I'll do passive exercise or like. If I'm at a hotel or some shit, that's like, I'll eat edibles. And I watched all of Road Warrior on a fucking stationary bike. High as fuck. I'm like, this movie's only 88 minutes. I could do it. Just rode casually the whole time with like the 2-pound dumbbells when you're on the fucking spin bike. I'm doing like the shoulder circuit Stanger taught me. Saving my fucking arms.
Know it well.
Yeah.
Walk away. Keep riding your bike. You're almost done. And I'll spare your life. Lord Humongous. Shout out to Lord Humongous from Road Warrior.
That's my fucking body goals, dude. I'm going for it. So my quarantine, like I've been working out around 1 or 2 every day and then smoking weed at 2 or 3, depending on what time that workout was.
Yeah.
And that's because I want to work out first thing in the morning, because then I like getting like my homework done early, or get my having the whole weekend free. But I have no fucking motivation. Combination with like depression of current situation, doubled with I really didn't realize how much I rely on the gym to inspire me to work out. Like I like going to the gym is something I've been doing since I was like 14 years old. I didn't realize how much I like to go switch into workout mode and then leave. Like, it's crazy to me. And I'm like, to find motivation to do goblet squats and put like all my least favorite shit is like body weight or cardio. To find motivation to do that has been very hard. So the first like 2 or 3 hours of every day is like, yeah, I sort of supposed to be doing this. Okay, Tiff, let me help with, I'll do the dishes. What do you want to do for, fuck, okay. I'm getting hungry. I want to smoke weed. I got to go for a run. I got to work out now. And like, it's just like, it feels so embarrassing. I'm just like, ugh, fine, I'll do it. But
how embarrassing, dude.
Yeah.
When I get it done, I'm like, oh, fuck. I remember this feeling.
Why does it feel embarrassing?
Because I'm embarrassed that I love exercising and I just can't even like, you're like, I know how important it is for both my physical and mental health.
Right.
And I'm still not like enough of like, I don't have enough control over my own body, self-control, willpower, whatever you want to call it, to go like,
you're more
get up and run, motherfucker.
Right. You're more embarrassed of the idea that since it's something that you love so much that you're not motivated to like start the day with it. And like,
when I have almost nothing to do. And it's like, if you told me like, all right, 2 months, no acting work, no meetings, everything's from home, I'd be like, bro, I'll be fucking writing, reading, exercising. Instead, I'm just sitting here in a fucking near panic for like, 8 hours a day, just like buzzing with stress and weirdness. And like, I'm like going to bed like, man, I'm fucking exhausted. And I did nothing today.
Well, it's just so hard to like not look at your phone and not do that. Also, and I finally have given myself a little bit of like the excuse or that it was okay. Because when we first started this podcast, we lived in a different house and I had a garage that was just my like palace, like to work out, but it was hard to motivate with it being right there. I think I was just so used to being competitive either with myself or just having other people around to work out that like would,
and coaching, and
like
coaching. Light coaching and like,
yeah,
I think being in the gym is like walking onto a field too. It just like inspire. You're like, I'm here to fucking lift. It's like, if I had to choose the location to try to go for my 1 RM deadlift, I would never choose like 8 feet away from your living room. Like, it's like, you would like, I want to drive to a fucking house of like a palace of fucking power or whatever.
Yeah.
Instead, you're like, all right, time to really go for it in my driveway. It like doesn't feel the same.
Yeah.
But even a place called the Palace of Power doesn't sound great either. I don't know why it doesn't.
It does
the
to me,
Palace?
Dude.
I don't know.
It's all fucking loincloth guys on the fucking, it's all incline bench only.
Like a kingdom of kilos or some shit. Oh, I guess that sounds like drugs, but
that's like a new Netflix series.
Yeah.
Kingdom of Kilos.
Yeah.
You're like, there's 48 episodes? When did this come out? Like something I would like, but I'll never watch it.
Right. Dude, so many times I'm browsing streaming and I'm like, ooh, this looks like it would be a cool movie. Turn it on. It's like 6 seasons, 150 episodes. You're like, what? I almost wanted to watch it if it was 90 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm never going to turn this on.
Yeah.
There's a chance with things like that, though, that I just jump into like season 3 random episodes, see if it can lock me in.
Right.
And if it can, then I go back. Yeah.
That's
the huge test.
Yeah.
You got to
just
grab me mid-season.
Let's see if they're into it, 3 seasons in.
Yeah, you can kind of tell. You're like, oh, these guys are phoning this in.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fucking double down on these boys.
Gabrus, I'm in the same boat as you, man. I really enjoy exercise, important part of my life. I don't dread it. But since I've been stuck at home doing this, it's just been like, oh, fuck. And like the day will tick away and I'll be like, shit, I got to fit this in before it's like fucking dinner time now.
Oh,
and I don't know where. I'm just like trying to help my kid more. And he's even like, get the fuck out of here. Just go lift or something. I don't miss, like I'll get it in there, but it's just been like, oh man, the dread factor is at an all-time high for Big Stang.
I gotta fit one in today. And then after this, and Trish, right before I walked in here, also was like, "Oh, were you gonna cut the grass today?" I was like, "That too."
Yeah. And then you're humiliated.
I'm overwhelmed.
Like a month ago, you were working like 5 12-hour days in a row, exercising, and then being a dad, like on the hours around that. Today, you have to mow the lawn, do a podcast, and exercise, and it seems untenable.
Impossible. Yeah.
Right? Unreal. Like I my to-do list has like move a folder into Dropbox, and I can't even fucking get like the most basic movement going on.
The fact that you wrote it down is pretty, like the fact that you showed us a slip of paper that had something on it is pretty good. You're beating me, really, man.
Delete photos Stanger sends you. Yeah, that's the one. Most of them. Delete all those after photos Stanger keeps sending.
I'll keep them coming though, man.
On our live chat of YouTube Live, since we are live on YouTube, somebody did mention, Casey did mention that they love the bandana look that you're rocking, Gabrus. So.
Oh shit, yeah. This holdover from my youth is fear in wearing red and blue bandanas. I will say.
Yeah,
and that's all just from watching Gangbanging in Little Rock, and then having like one bully when I was 12 bring up the Crips when I wore like all red to school or something, and I was like, oh, never happening again, never happening again.
There's a meme I saw. There's a meme I saw this week of this young guy wearing a red bandana, and he was at a grocery store, and they had a picture of himself, and then behind him was a very old lady in a blue bandana, like a white lady, and he was like, "It looks like there's gonna be some trouble in the produce." And it's just like, the fact that those jokes are happening is crazy.
Well, there would be some bullshit story of like a geriatric people that, you know, took a wrong turn and they were dressed in blue and got smoked. It's like, probably not.
No.
I don't think anybody's facing a potential murder charge just to flex on some 90-year-old in a jogging suit, you know. Maybe, but that shit would come out and it's just like, you better be fucking careful. If you go to Disneyland and you're wearing all red and a Crip sees you, you're fucking dead, dude.
Dude, you know full well the Crips are standing outside Magic Mountain ready to fucking gun you down.
And also, if a pigeon eats a Mento, it'll explode.
I will say I have it around my neck currently because I've brought the dog out for a walk a few times without.
Yeah.
And then we end up being like a block away from the house just because he's like dragging us. And all of a sudden I'm like next to like an old man in a wheelchair with a mask on. And all of a sudden I feel awful.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm supposed to just be in front. And I'm like panic. So now I just have it around my neck throughout the day in case I end up going out.
It's also good if you want carjack or something quick too, you know, or rob a train.
Oh, and it's great for Zoom bombing. I'll bomb into a Zoom of like a kid's classroom like this and then be like, titties, and then jump out. Just activate them all, get them all whacked. Yeah. Get all the kids worked up.
Boobs and butts and stuff.
We all love boobs and butts, right? It is also.
Butts have poop on them.
It's also very stressful because I did a Zoom with some college roommates, and one of my buddies wore a mask like for the beginning of it to try to pretend to be a different roommate. And it's unsettling to be in a Zoom like this and not see the person's mouth moving because it's like adds one more layer of confusion as to where your eyes are supposed to go and shit. It also like
looks
unsettling.
Like one of those. It looks like one of those weird beheading videos too.
All right.
But that also in a way,
I look like that's like the SWAT operator who has to go into the fucking favelas. Yeah.
This way people are just going to listen to the podcast because it doesn't matter who's talking at this point.
This is starting to look like a weird conservative talk show. Well, it was.
That's how I yes and, right?
Yeah.
You look like someone who would be in the Police Academy Blue Oyster scene. With the shirt, hat, and stash. It's classic. Damn, dude. Yeah.
Or you look like what's his name from Newsies when he was in Newsies.
Christian Bale.
The child.
Young Bale. The young Bale boy, dude. Baby.
Get out of my light.
Yeah.
Imagine
you're over there, walking around,
I wish we had audio from him on as a kid in Newsies blowing up in a grip. That would be such a funny. 40 years later, guys still doing it.
Oh man.
When he fucking jumps out that window in The Fighter, it's so funny.
I never saw that. Was that good?
Yes, it's great.
That was really good.
Really?
Yeah, he won the Oscar for it. I don't know
yeah,
it works. The movie works. Wahlberg never quite nails Mickey Ward's physique. He's too built. Like in Mickey Ward, just like a skinny guy. But it all works. It's good. It's good.
It's cool how much the movie works. What was the Jake Gyllenhaal one that came out like a week later and was absolute abysmal?
Southpaw.
Yeah. I went and saw that too, and I was like, oh man, The Fighter is retroactively even better. It was like a year later or something like that.
And like Fuqua did Southpaw, right?
So yeah, and written by fucking Kurt Sutter. So I thought it was going to be like something. I should have known at the time that the
Kurt
Sons
Sutter
of
doesn't
Anarchy
do anything bad.
So what was it? A wash? Was the Southpaw?
Yeah, it was like. Sorry.
I need to rewatch it. It's a little melodramatic.
For sure.
Or a lot melodramatic, I guess. A lot of fucking shit happens. And it's also Gyllenhaal like in dumb face, maybe.
Yeah, he's like Gyllenhaal's like trying to play a meathead boxer guy, and I think Miles Teller in whatever his.
I like that.
That talk about over dramatic boxing movies, but that one I really liked, and I don't like. I'm more apt to like Gyllenhaal than Miles Teller 9 out of 10 times. But I thought Teller was fucking great. And
he's great.
Live through this, pain through this, something like that.
Bleed through this or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That one's kind of fun. And that's an interesting true story too.
Yes.
When you see the footage of the real guy, this guy is like right on the precipice of like his title fight or wins the title or something. He gets in a car accident and breaks his neck, never to be able to box again. And he fucking just comes back and like trains, and like there's actual footage of the real guy like hitting the weights with like a halo on over his head and neck,
Yeah. The sequence in the movie is he's doing bench press with like the thing fucking screwed into his head. It looks fucking insane. And you're like, any movie where a guy makes a fucking or a protagonist makes a big fucking training sequence, and if it happens to start in a fucking halo on the bench, I was like, hell yeah. Bleed for this.
Yeah.
Based on Vinny Pazienza's life, a real fighter.
And he's a good character. Like he's a larger than life kind of character and a lot of swag and charisma. So it's a fun story.
Yeah. So this has been Stanger and Gabrus's boxing movie corner. Any other questions we can talk about boxing?
I mean, sports movies. I didn't get to watch the new Jordan ESPN doc yet.
I heard it's awesome. I kind of I need to like sit down. Like there's no way I'm gonna get Nancy and Stone to watch that.
Sure.
I kind of want to wait till there's like 3 or 4 episodes out and then just burn through them while Tip's asleep or something.
Yeah. Same.
Let's break down some sports movies. Let's give me your top 3. You don't have to pick them your favorites. Was a crazy
one that I still think about why sports wise is Foxcatcher.
Good one.
Oh yeah.
Solid movie.
I think
have you guys watched the documentary on that?
Yes. Yeah.
How's that?
It's crazy.
I feel like I saw that first, possibly.
Yes, I think I did too. Yeah.
Was it a 30 for 30?
It was I
think it's just a straight ahead documentary.
I think it was just a doc, yeah. And then that movie with fucking what's his name? Mark Ruffalo is so fucking good in that movie.
Dude's a good actor. For sure.
And the way that he carries himself like a wrestler,
it's
insane.
The light step, the hunch, the kind of he walks with the what's it called? The sweep, not the sweep, the takedown move. What's that called? The lunge or whatever. He kind of walks with that lunge that you have to walk in wrestling practice. It's kind of fun.
It's amazing. That's
a good one.
That's one of them up there for me. What's another one that's up there for me? I mean, I
didn't mean to put you on the spot, Gabrus.
No, that's
anyone
okay.
come to mind?
Well, I'm gonna throw out one of mine and Stang's favorite, The Program. That's just like the quintessential. There hasn't been a football drama. Yes, there's that. Like Any Given Sunday isn't even as much about the football as like. There's been a football drama that's been that much about the football, I guess. What other movie? Friday Night Lights, kind of.
Yeah, maybe. But even that movie, what is that? Willie Beeman? Is that one?
No, that's Any Given Sunday. Steam and Willie.
Oh yeah.
Steam and Willie Beeman. Friday Night Lights is the one that it's based on the Texas high school. True story.
Oh right. Yeah.
Booby Miles and all that. And they made it a series that everybody was nuts for.
But in the movie, when they give Booby the news in the car, that shit is one of the fucking heaviest scenes in a movie.
Yeah, what am I supposed to do now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. The book is really good too. The book that it's based
on. The book is awesome. Yeah.
You talk about the program, the book for the program?
The book for the program.
To be fair, the program is just Stanger got it at a football game he went to. He keeps calling it's a script for the program. It's like, no, it's a program for a game.
No, it's the same as the movie, the name of the movie.
I shot it as a flip book.
Them laying down in the street is still my names. I remember that.
You remember that from the trailer, but not from the theatrical cut. Because they took
is it not in the cut?
Why?
No, they did a couple. It ran for like a week, and then that happened, and then they cut it out. But there's like a French version I found online that's got it still in there.
Yeah, it's not in the DVD I have.
It's not in the DVD.
No, they cut it out. Yeah, some kids did it,
because a kid died in like Connecticut. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Laid in the street and got fucking ran over.
It's fucking insane. For the listeners who might not know what we're talking about, famously the movie The Program, it was in the trailer because I remember seeing it.
Now, did people do it? Did people do it because they saw it in the trailer?
Yes.
Yes. Or in the movie. Yeah.
Or the movie.
Shortly after
it ran for like a week while it was still in there. Movie came out in the 90s called The Program about a college football team called ESU, based on like Florida State, FSU. And their quarterback, to inspire the rest of his teammates to be more fearless, encourages them after a night of drinking to lay down in the middle of a freeway, like a busy freeway,
and read magazines.
And read on the dotted line. And he's reading like his write-up in Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
And they're all doing it like it pans over the top of them, all these cars whizzing by, and they're covering their nuts. And it's like a flex, to show how tough they are.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Kane is able our quarterback is a motorcycle riding bad boy.
Yeah,
and they think so he's got to give his edge to the rest of the team.
Right. And so they sold the movie on that a lot, like it was built on that footage, and it was in a lot of the ads. And so people like recreated it and did it, and some kids got ran over. So then they had to like rush and cut that out of the movie. It already was like released for like a week, and cut it out of all the trailers.
Oh, crazy.
Everybody that was like playing sports or thinking about it at that time remembers the movie and remembers that scene.
I remember that scene. I remember the movie roughly just because I remember seeing it in theaters.
I saw it in theaters.
But,
I saw it in theaters too. I watched it every in high school football. There's you have to do the minimum amount of practices before you can start going full contact. And on the first day of full contact, the coaches love to play it up like it's hell week. Like you're going to be destroyed. It's like, we're going to choose who's the fucking tough guys on this team at this point. And the night before fucking first day, we called it hit day. The night before hit day, we would all get together and watch the program, specifically the Welcome to the Jungle montage, which is on their hit day. And we would just be like, woo, we're going to, and then I would go and just get fucking creamed by overly developed 16-year-olds who would just like, you fat fucking low test chubby, and just wreck me.
They were calling you low test back then.
Yeah.
God, a lot of endocrinologists you're playing.
Yeah, those guys ended up doing pretty good. Yeah.
This guy's fucking hormones are all out of whack.
That's a great fucking sports movie, dude. That's a good
one. Program was a total blast. I loved Rocky 3 and Rocky 4.
Yeah.
Rocky
4. Yeah, Rocky 4 is up there for me as far as top. Oh, I think people have mentioned Blue Chips.
Blue Chips, great. I gotta rewatch that. I'm just
that's a William Friedkin movie.
Yeah, and that's a fucking Shaq and Nolte, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Shaq's in that, Nolte's, and then Anthony Hardaway.
Oh yeah.
That one was that's a fun movie. Yeah.
Varsity Blues, Waterboy.
I Don't Want Your Life. That's a good one that's about football too. A lot of stuff going around it, Varsity Blues, but it is about the game a lot.
I love Varsity Blues. That's like the fun version of Friday Night Lights. Like that one's a little more kissy. It's
got the whipped cream. It's got Ali Larder in the whipped cream bikini.
Yeah.
Burned into my head. It's got John Voight as just like the worst piece of shit. It's awesome.
Are we talking about like sports movies that are like very sport in like very like
No,
like,
we're not.
as close to the sport as possible, because like Mighty Ducks is a great movie.
No, I mean, I think I would say anything that's in the sports genre is fair game.
Yeah, if you want to make an argument, Endless Summer or Riding Giants, those are the Dawn Wall, and the recent ones, the Dawn Wall and what's the guy Free Solo, like those are fucking bomb ass sports movies if you want to call them that, because they're docs. It's confusing.
I wouldn't put those in the same category as like so Rudy's another one for me. I love Rudy. Makes me cry every single time.
Yeah.
Major League is fucking holds up as funny, which is minus like some real racist cultural appropriation shit. I'm thinking the president, the Allstate guy, doing whatever, like Haitian voodoo and shit, like Creole voodoo and stuff. It's a little
there's some
almost as racist as me is not knowing what ethnicity he's supposed to be playing.
Dennis Haysbert. There's some there's some problematic stuff for sure in there. But I liked all the baseball ones. Field of Dreams, I guess maybe you could kind of put in there. It's not exactly sports, but it's sports enough in there. Bull Durham. I love that one as a kid. I'm a sucker for them. There's a definite kind of like a pattern that those movies follow. And like some would even make the case that Top Gun is a sports movie.
Oh, for sure.
Because they take out the politics and the war, and it's more just about the competition in the Top Gun school.
Right.
There's a lot of movies that follow the sports movie mentality, but map it over, insert like fucking Hunger Games moment. You know what I mean? Like there's shit like you can like find sports analogies in a lot of movies. If I could take it even more dumbbell centric, Rocky's going to be a lot of the answers to this, but what about actually seeing fitness or training in movies? What movies, which is often sports movies or martial arts movies.
Martial arts movies, What was it?
And we're back. No, I was going to say that's kind of my fitness origin story, seeing training montage in the Rocky movies.
Yeah.
Rocky 3, Rocky 4, like seeing that and seeing him transform like over time and get better. I was like, man, that makes sense to my brain.
I mean, I feel like that's what everybody's doing in quarantine now, is trying to find a bale of hay and shit.
Oh yeah, we're all doing Rocky 4 workouts. I got my whole family in a fucking rickshaw,
wheelbarrow,
and I'm doing military press with them over my head and shit.
Would that be hard to lift? Unclear.
No. You have so much the fulcrum on your side. It's like you're not lifting the side.
The little I know about from the little I know about simple machines, I don't know if he's that much of a worker.
He's got leverage on his side for sure.
Yeah.
But I think
the training montage. Yeah.
Sorry, Rocky 3 and 4 have but don't discount Rocky Balboa. That training montage is a great one too.
Ooh,
is that the one I'm thinking of, where you're too old to fight, but you got to get weapons of mass?
You got to build hurting bombs.
Yeah,
he's too old to spar. So he's like, we gotta. It's all kettlebells and chains and shit.
That's why we like it, because it's literally like you're too old to get in cardio shape, just to make you strong as fuck so you can dominate this dude. It rules. He's doing the fucking, with like the 60-pound dumbbells, he's doing like the fucking uppercut drill.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Whoa.
And his trainer snaps his neck both directions. Like the guy, when he's like getting ready to start training him, he moves his head this way and that, and you hear his neck crack.
Awesome. And it's Clubber's trainer from right?
No, it's Apollo's.
Apollo's rather, yeah. The guy who trains him in 3.
Yeah.
He's in all the movies. The training montage where they're using kettlebells, and then they do a kettlebell swing, and then they tap the top of the kettlebell a couple of times during the swing. It's God, what it's I think it's a martial arts-ish movie, but I think it's
there's some great training montages in martial arts movies. They're probably what like Stallone and those guys copied,
Yeah,
oh, for sure. Yeah.
But it's a more of a modern like movie where you're also kicking a bag and it doesn't budge, and then it goes all the way down, like
Oh, like
down the pipe.
you're punching a heavy bag, and then you're like, okay, not bad. And at the end of the montage, the heavy bag explodes into like, and you're like, well, is this over a 40-week training period?
Yeah. I mean, the training montage, I mean, it's the whole movie, but anytime they're training in Pain and Gain, I'm like, this is great.
Fucking love it. Yeah. I love Pumping Iron, has a lot of great fucking when Lou is doing curls saying Arnold, that fucking rules. Like that's just like such a weird, like you forget about the competitive element of bodybuilding because we all just so use it as like for aesthetics, health, or to like help us in a different sport. But the idea of like, I have to beat this one guy at looking in a weirdly specific way and just training, being like Arnold with his, I'm not gonna do his voice, but like Arnold. And despite playing Lou Ferrigno at a number of late night comedy shows, I will no longer be doing that character.
That's
you can imagine what it might entail.
I see his son out doing acting jobs and stuff. His son's like a big built dude, Lou Ferrigno Jr.
Oh, really?
Great name.
Yeah.
What is it? Is he like thick? Like, is he bodybuilder big, or is he
he's big, like big old
lean.
square jaw. He's better looking than his dad. You know, he looks and he's in stuff like maybe 911, one of those shows.
No, he's I think he's on SWAT. He's on one of the cop procedurals. You're right. He's one of the dudes. Yeah. But I think he's fucking buff and handsome, and but he doesn't look like he's not yoked like Daddy was.
No, he's not like 300 pounds Olympia shape. He's just more like a fit looking dude.
Right. But he's not a bodybuilder.
Yeah. But he's more than just like he's pretty built. Like
he's not like Marvel actor built. He's built like I train. Like I do hard training and also happen to be an actor. It doesn't feel like he's got just like someone trained him down for this 3-month period.
Yeah.
I think he's walking around with fucking traps and delts.
You find out his dad's a famous bodybuilder and it makes sense.
Right.
All tracks.
Oh,
and all Traxola.
Getting FaceTime from my family. Better decline that.
Get him on, dude. Bring him on the live feed, man.
Wait, this is something I wanted to text you guys about, so I'm going to use it as an opportunity just to say on this podcast.
Let's do it.
Did you see the video of my man Eddie? What's Eddie's last name? The strongman? It's not Shaw. That's Robert Shaw. There's Eddie is the other one. It'll come to me. But did you see the video of him doing that? What's the 30 clean and jerk workout? Grace?
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Grace.
He set the CrossFit record in Grace. His name's Eddie Hall. Eddie Hall is, and he's a strong man. He used to be 433 pounds at a like competitive weight. Now he has a 6-pack and he's still a competitive strongman. Highly recommend looking up Eddie, like before and after photos, but also watch him do Grace. He does it in like 40 something seconds.
Jesus. What?
Because 135 is so light for him.
Yeah.
He's literally just doing toe touches with a fucking barbell in his hand. He never breaks speed or anything, and he's not in any cardio. Like, I mean, he's in better cardio shape than most 350 pounders, but he's not like, he doesn't even like struggle once. It looks wild. It looks like a way to hack. All right. All you need to do is get really good at Grace. It's like, okay, well, how about I make 135, 25% of my body weight? It's like, oh, okay, yeah, that'll make it pretty easy. He just fucking, like he's touching it to the ground and sky. It's so awesome.
Eddie Hall?
Eddie Hall, yeah. And you should see what he looks like now, too, with his fucking 6-pack. Seeing a 350-pound dude with a 6-pack looks wild.
Wow.
What is one feat of strength or fitness you guys would just like to be able to have?
For the longest time, it's been on my like life goals list, but it's never, if it didn't happen when I was actually powerlifting, it's not going to happen now. And that's to go 3, 4, 5, 300-pound press, bench press, 400-pound squat, 500-pound deadlift.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which I think people just like throw around in like powerlifting and strongman circuits of just like, oh yeah, you got like, you got to be able to go 3, 4, 5 before you even start thinking about shit like this. You know, like I just love the idea of that, having that barometer.
I dig that.
I've done 2 of those. I've never done 500-pound deadlift. I don't know if I ever will. I doubt it. Let's be honest. Yeah.
But you've done the 300. You've done the 300 bench, 400 squat.
Both in competition, but I've never done the 500.
How heavy have you gone for deads?
In the competition was like 440, and one time I pulled 465 in the gym.
Nice.
But yeah, I was so close. But that was also like, I don't think I'm close to doing squatting 400 right now either. So I gotta I'd have to, and certainly not gonna put fucking 60 pounds on my back squat in the fucking with goblet squats of 50 pounds.
Yeah, right.
There's not a way to do it.
Mine are, and then Eugene, I want to hear you. It's a tie between, I'd like to be able to do, you've seen like the real freaky yoga people and all the handstand stuff they can do.
Sure.
Where they're going up and then they're dropping their legs down. I'd love to be able to do that and walk around on my hands, just because when you're in that kind of shape and you have some muscle, like the way everything looks, you look great. I feel like that's a really like high level of fitness and symmetry and balance. And then I would love to be able to do like tumbling, flips and back flips.
Oh yeah.
Bro, I saw when I was a kid, I saw the Summer Olympics. Bro, I saw the Summer Olympics.
Tell you about flips, bro.
Dude, you want to talk flips? I saw a guy who was a super heavyweight in Greco-Roman wrestling or heavy, whatever. He was like wrestling at 260 something. So lean, but so fucking thick and short. And he won by a pin, stood up and did a standing backflip. And my dad, and Stanger hears me quote my dad all the time. He's like, that's a side of fitness. That big guy doing a backflip and it burned in my head. I'm like, if I could do a standing backflip, anytime someone called me fat for the rest of my life, I was like, hold up. And I just did a standing backflip. That would be the biggest flex you could do to anyone. So I'm with you, Stang, on the tumbling shit. If you could do a standing backflip, also to get to that physical ability, that you have such fucking hip and leg strength and core power and like force
and body control.
Body control, yeah. It'd be such a fucking flex on all of your, like, just like the handstand thing is like just demonstrative of like 11 different great physical qualities.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you're doing any of those body weight things where you can like, it looks like you're defying gravity because your core is just so locked in is insane.
Did you see those dudes doing the fucking handstand t-shirt challenge? Like changing their shirts while in a handstand? That's fucking wild.
I mean, I'll be honest.
The problem is my dick keeps falling into my face.
Right.
Like, gosh,
you got to wear some of Euge's tights, the capri tights that he works out in.
Even those it'll fall out of.
Doing it with a t-shirt, you could do it. I mean,
not with my dick getting in the way.
It's if you look at the people handstands, the people that are doing it legit are doing a handstand and are against the wall. A lot of people that are taking on the challenge are like at like a pike position.
People are just sitting up and doing it standing.
So it's like you're not even completely vertical doing it.
Did you see Simone? Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, did you see Simone Biles show everyone up?
By changing her pants in her shirt?
By changing her pants with her feet. Like she took her own pants off with like her toes while just standing in like a perfect handstand. It was awesome.
I wonder if a baby could change its own diaper. That'd be good for the parents, right?
In a handstand, just diarrhea rolling up your chest into your own face.
I think like a free handstand where you're able to do other movements is just like the next, like just being able to, again, like defying gravity in that way of just kind of moving your body in a way that you're doing like, full pike position, full like, swinging your legs all the way down and underneath your body and then going into a handstand shit. That's like crazy.
That's huge.
Huh?
That's what you would want to have.
No, I mean, that's one of those things where I see other people have, and I'm just like, oh, that's impressive. It's not my body, but I mean,
what would you want? Like Gabrus is the
3, 4, 5
deadlift pull.
Oh yeah. I think I would still want to be able to do that King Kong WOD, but I've just gotten,
We talked about that on a High and Mighty episode. We were gonna maybe try to train to do King Kong to do King Kong together.
It's just to the point where it's just so heavy.
Right. For me, just having muscle ups and it makes it So if we could try to, you get your deadlift up, I'll get my muscle up skill, and then we'll get King Kong before we turn 40.
Yeah.
Or I mean, that's 11 months away.
You mean before you turn 40.
Right.
I'm already in it.
I know. Well, you're Asian and have a shaved head. I have no idea how old you are.
But the King Kong one, I just like getting that deadlift back. I think it's 460. Is that what it is?
I think it's 405
or 405.
I feel like it's 4 at 405, then muscle ups, and then something else. Like
I can do the muscle up. I can do the muscle ups. The thing that I think, and the handstand push-ups, I'm okay with. The thing was, I don't know if I could get even close to that 250 clean. I think that's
hard. That's hard.
Who made this up? King Kong made this up?
Yeah, King Kong made it himself. But it's not even one clean. It's like it's one deadlift, 2 muscle ups, 3 cleans at 250. And I'm just like, I can't do, like, for me to even just get the bar, like, I think I've cleaned 205.
Yeah, once. I mean, the most I've ever cleaned was like 250 once, but that was at like a 275 body weight.
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't even my, and Stanger, you didn't hear the story about this? On set, for when Eugene was filming Skull Island, King Kong taught him this workout.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know. I can't believe this never came up. Wow. Yeah, that's really cool. I feel like that's maybe the part to lead the story with. That's pretty interesting.
And because I couldn't do it, they renamed the movie Kong Skull Island instead of King Kong.
Wait, here I have the metrics. King Kong is 3 rounds of 1 deadlift at 455.
See?
2 muscle ups, 3 squat cleans at 250, 4 handstand push-ups, 3 rounds for time. That's extreme strength and body weight strength. Like a 455 deadlift, I would have to fucking take ammonia and like sit down for like 6 minutes after doing.
Yeah. But he's like he's a fucking like a super monkey, like way stronger than
yeah. I mean, he's moving.
To be fair, it's a workout he came up with for other non-giant gorillas.
Yes, yeah. It's basically like
and he made this. That's
it's him. Yeah.
All right, shit, man.
But he's certified level 1 instructor for CrossFit, and
which is really cool. Yeah, you should see how much rogue gear this guy's on. This guy's got he's wearing all kinds of tights and sleeves and kinesio tape and shit on his big ass gorilla body.
But then but the thing is he still wears hook grip sleeves on his knees.
No brand loyalty.
Yeah. Those he trusts. He trusts hook grip because they've been doing it for a while.
Yeah. What's Rogue gonna fucking argue with him?
Dude,
Last
Gabrus,
mistake they'll ever make.
This video you sent us. Meanwhile, I don't know how this helps the podcast at all, but the video you sent, I mean, the picture you sent us of this guy's 6-pack is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's got a 7-pack. He's got
a 7-pack. It's weirdly, it's like 4 and 3, right?
Yeah. It's like he's holding hands with himself.
It's inexplicable, but like what he looks like on the left in that photo when he's like fully ballooned up, that's what I always knew him as. Then I just saw him fucking recently in a video doing that grace, and he's fucking diced.
Well, I just like, whenever people say that 6-packs are made in the kitchen, it's like that one isn't. That one's made like somehow he's able to work it out where it's going past his fat. Like it's huge. I mean, his 6-pack, his muscles in his 6-pack look like my pecs. Like, you know what I mean?
I think it's just like he's probably had such mass on his abs for years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just never visible because he never cared. Because like it's not part of their sport. But as he was like, as every sport becomes more about what you do on fucking social media, I'm sure he was like, I might as well get abs so I can just, and he looks fucking insane now. He looks like a drawing.
What would his body fat percentage even be for that second picture? I mean, I don't think he's less than 16-17%. He's just a monster.
Yeah, he's just got such big muscles that I think it just shows no matter what.
Yeah.
Fucking wild. I mean, granted, this guy is a strength professional who's like, his career of exercise is like supported by his own like success in these exercises. But fuck would I like to be 300 pounds with a 6-pack. not lose a pound of body weight. Be like, yeah, I'm 6'2", 295. And I lift up your shirt and you have fucking huge abs. Be like, what?
You could just like crush people's skulls.
Right. You're like, I don't wear a seatbelt. You're like, you sure? It's like, yeah, bro, I'm fucking 6'2", 300. Blast this off the steering wheel, I'll be fine.
Or just like go through the windshield of the other car and be fine, you know, just like all muscle and everything. Just like crashing through windows and doors and eating a lot of beef jerky, probably eating a lot of apples and stuff.
Yeah. Beef jerky, apples, and Carl's Jr.
So Gabrus, what's food been like for you? What challenges and where have you been succeeding?
I found a little hack for myself because I can easily graze all day. I really do need like the reward or love feeling I get from food, and my wife likes to cook, and it's cathartic for her, so she cooks pretty much every
That's
night.
her love language, cooking food for you and you telling her you like it.
And I just sit there and eat it and go, of course, this fucking rules. I was ready to eat garbage before this, so this fucking is amazing. But
at the same time, you're fucking Hansel, you know.
All right, I could easily eat myself into oblivion. So what I've been doing more or less is like a weird version of intermittent fasting. Like I've just been getting up in the morning, because we also always eat late because Tiffany likes to take her time with cooking, and then she also now is still working. So like I've been sort of, and I don't have any complaints about that. I prefer to eat late because I like to, you know, eat and then hang out for an hour and then go to bed. Obviously not ideal for fitness, but I get up in the morning around 9 or 10 sometimes if I'm really lucky. It's quarantine, baby, and I'm a childless 40-year-old. So I'll drink a coffee at like 9:30 a.m. and just do some shit, and then around 1-ish exercise, and then around 2:30, 3 o'clock smoke weed, make a post workout, drink that in the shower, and then
drink it in the shower.
Yep, I take my post workout. I get high. I make my post workout. I get high. Then I get in the shower with all the lights off, put on a podcast or some music, and I fucking drink my post workout and stand and hang out in the shower stoned for like a half hour. I got the time. I'm trying to fucking I'm trying to find some alone time. I still live in an apartment, so you know, like we steal our half hours when we can. And then after that, I'll have like a very simple, like healthy sort of single bachelor lunch of like, a can of tuna with honey mustard on greens, like old school bodybuilder shit, or like 2 pieces of leftover chicken thighs and the leftover carrots from last night, some shit like that. At like post shower, and then around 8 or 9, I'll eat a dinner that Tiffany makes, but that's never unreasonable because she doesn't eat beef or pork, and she is cooking for the two of us. She's never gonna like make anything too fun for me. You know, fun is the word I use. Disgusting would be the word most people would use. But like, you know, we're not eating like quesadillas every night, which is what we would 100% be having if it was me.
Right.
I mean, it sounds like
what are those meals? What are those meals at night though?
The meals at night, like it's often like turkey sausage and peppers, or like salmon and white rice and bok choy, or we it's alternating all the time, but it's always chicken, salmon. It's always chicken, fish, turkey, or like once in a while we have duck here as like that's our steak because Tiff doesn't eat beef or pork. And I eat like, I buy a pound of bacon or something. I eat like, not now that I'm not going to restaurants, which is the only time I ever had red meat or pork previously. Now that I'm not going to restaurants, like every once in a while, like we've only gone food shopping twice in like the last 5 weeks, but the 2 times we went, I'm like, let me just get like bacon or ground beef or something just to at some point have these things that I love. And then I'll eat bacon like 2 slices every day for lunch for like a week or whatever, you know?
Right.
But I've lost weight in the quarantine. I've dropped pounds.
When you were a kid playing Duck Hunt on Nintendo, did you ever dream that your beautiful wife would be preparing it for you in your apartment that you're quarantined in for?
That's what I used to scream at the laughing dog.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you laugh now, fucking Rover, but someday my beautiful wife is gonna be fucking cooking a duck to perfection.
Or do you ever take that? That duck out of the freezer and hold it up like the dog?
Oh yeah.
Did you ever use a realistic looking revolver like what they play with in Boys in the Hood for some reason? Bother me. Just like they don't do the Nintendo gun. I didn't know if it was like an artistic choice or like a props choice.
Bro, if you weren't getting
sadly, I'll never be able to ask John Singleton. Sorry, John Singleton what his plan was. Sorry,
that was probably going to be your first question to John.
Number
Singleton
one
when you met him.
Number one. If I could bring him back to life, that's what I'd ask him.
Yeah. And then put him right back to death. As soon as you get the answer, just put the pillow over his head. It's like, sorry, this is how it has to go. It's like, really?
His family's in the other room. I know you needed some clarification on the will for his daughter, but I got what I needed, and that's the end of it.
So you've dropped LBs, Gabrus.
I've dropped a few pounds. Yeah. And I think it's part of, like, I think I make my most unhealthy food choices when I'm either alone or ordering. And not even like, I don't go like crazy binge, but like I'm going to get an appetizer and an entree if I'm ordering for myself.
Yeah.
But if I'm making food for myself, I'm never like, oh, I should have like fucking cheese, bread, and meat, and then 5 minutes later eat dinner. But when I go to a restaurant, that's completely reasonable behavior.
We'll start with 10 oysters and
exactly.
some wings. I don't know.
I'll have a cocktail, 10 oysters, some wings. Then I'll have wine with dinner, and then we'll get like a port and dessert. So yeah, I'm not eating like that here. So between that and I think my training has been pretty much like run 1.5 miles and then do high rep muscular endurance stuff. Because I only have, as you can see on the wall behind me.
Yeah, those bands.
I've got spree bands. Shout out Dumbbells for the reco. I've got my Spieler CrossFit jump rope below it. And then off camera right here, I have I have a 53-pound kettlebell and a couple of 40-pound dumbbells and a couple of 5-pound dumbbells. Obviously, I'm like really slapping together some programming with only having 40s, which are just a touch too heavy for curls, but way too light for everything else. So I've been doing a lot of like circuits where it's like farmers walk like 100 feet into 10 single arm overhead dumbbell press, 10 other arm, then like 10 shrugs, then like a handful of curls with each arm, rest, do that circuit again. Then like the next day, it's like I'll do 100 swings and then 5 sets of 12 goblet squats. Then the day after that, it's like I'm fucking beat. Maybe I'll just take bands out after my run and just do a bunch of bullshit moving around. And then but I've ran like 5 or 6 days a week every week since the shit hit. But it's only I'm only running like a quick 1.6 miles.
Are you using like a run keeper or any of those things? Yeah,
I use the same shit I was using when I was training for the half. I use that Under Armour Map My Run. Just because I like that the lady says like the person says 1 mile 12-minute 40-second pace. I like hearing like, oh, okay, because I've been trying to do 1.5 miles in under 20 minutes. And I got it down to under 20, but I need her to add a mile to tell me. Because if she's like 13 minutes and 35, because I have no idea of pace, it's just all hard. It's just all difficult. But if she says like, you're actually 20 seconds slower than normal, I'm like, all right, well, I better fuck. Because I held on to all that quantifying shit from CrossFit.
Wait, like do they have an average of what you usually do on there? Like, so
no, but I know it from I know it from like I do the same 1.6 mile loop. Also, I don't want to run in a mask. Sorry, Garcetti, because I will die after a half mile.
Dude.
So
you're allowed.
Yeah. So I picked the same path also because I know like the safety, how wide the streets are now. And like my plan is to keep doing 1.6 miles until it's very easy and then bump it up to 2 miles and try to get that under 24 minutes eventually.
Got it.
The safe at home California order follows the CDC guidelines with mask wearing. And so it's like in essential businesses where you have to interface with people, you have to wear a mask.
Right.
But for exercise outdoors alone, in an area that's not heavily populated, you can go mask free.
I think in Glendale and in like up here in La Crescenta, you have to
mask everywhere,
even if you're walking your dog. So
I think that's part of also helping lower the stigma of wearing a mask, of just have it on all the time. So when people see you in it, it's not weird and you feel comfortable.
But it's just a face covering here for that. You know, it doesn't have to necessarily be a mask. So I've cut up a bunch of my t-shirts because why do I need sleeves anyway? And taking the sleeves off, and I've been wearing just the sleeve as a mask.
Okay.
On my
do you
runs.
do it with your pits? To your nose, you're smelling your own scent.
Yeah.
See, I didn't realize how built I was for this quarantine, in that I'm a homebody. I'm very used to going a couple of months without having work. I can do my podcast, some of my job from home. And because when I was training and running, I always wore a bandana on my hair because I had long hair. I've stocked with bandanas. Bring the fucking coat. Bring it.
Yeah. You just moved it from your forehead to your mouth.
Yeah, exactly. When I run, I just wear two, and people just think I'm like appropriating some culture.
I mean, 2 years ago, I was so close. It was around 2 years ago. I was so close to getting that mask to make it seem like you're in.
High
altitude training.
Oh, like a snorkel mask, like for training. Oh,
yeah,
that's fucking baller.
I wish I got it. I know. Rogers has one.
Does he?
I think so. Yeah.
But I think he uses his only for sex stuff.
Yeah. He wants to pretend he's always fucking in Denver.
Well, dude, I'm lucky because when I was young, like I rescued this kid out of a prison, and now this kid's grown up and she needs my help to terrorize a Batman. So I'm going to go terrorize this guy with the mask on.
Oh, good.
I got one for that.
Yeah.
I got to help this kid out.
But you need to terrorize a Batman, not the Batman, right?
I don't know if it's V or A. I don't know.
No,
I don't know how many there are.
Is
the
that
Batman
why
is Robert Pattinson, but a Batman is a number of people.
Yeah.
Is that why you said that your number one physical fitness test would be climbing out of a giant hole in the middle of the desert?
Yeah. You got to make an impossible jump.
But I've had a hard time running with the mask on, man. I use the Runkeeper app, which does the same thing of your mile. You know, like it gives me every 3 minutes, it gives me a cue of how fast I'm going pace wise. And then when it hits a mile, because I'll do 2 to 3 miles on every run, and every time that I've been running with the mask, which has been the last 3 runs, it's so much slower.
It's laughing at you like the dog and duck hunt.
Yeah.
That fucking dog.
Yeah. I used to run like way back in the day before we had devices or anything, and I would run with nothing and like forget my watch. And so like I would just park my car somewhere and like run down by the beach or something. And I would just go and I'd be like, that had to have been like 40 minutes or an hour. And I'd get back and it was like 10 minutes had passed. You know? It's fucking, now we're all plugged in, like, exactly how long, but I'd be like, guarantee. So then I would do it based on music. I knew like how far so many songs would take me or whatever, how long it would be. But yeah, it is tough to fucking, you just get, it's nice getting those updates, but if you're way off your pace because your fucking mouth's constricted, it's brutal. It's getting hotter out here too. Yeah. I'm going to have to start running earlier in the day. Have people been asking some questions? Let's answer some questions from folks.
No, I mean, people mainly have just been asking things or talking about some of the things that they wish they did, like we were saying, which is like,
Here's one from Rowan Cruz. This is for Gabrus. I've always wanted to play rugby, but I've got chronic shoulder problems. How bad of an idea is this to get into after the quarantine? How much is Rowan going to tear up their shoulders playing rugby, Gabrus?
It all depends on your position, which is all dependent on your build. But it's a fair amount of shoulders. It's a game with a lot of, you're holding the ball in your arms, you're tackling with your shoulder, you're entering rucks and mauls with your shoulders, you're scrumming with your shoulders. If you're a pack player, if you're a back, you're maybe jumping up to cat. I don't know. If you have bad shoulders. Also, who told you have bad shoulders is kind of the thing I say to a lot of these people now, because someone's like, I can't squat because of my knees. I'm like, oh, did a doctor ever tell you not to squat? And they're like, no, just squatting really hurts my knees. It's like, okay, well, we can maybe talk about why that's the case.
Yeah, right.
So I'd like to take our person here who wants to play some rugby and say, do your shoulders hurt you without any like official diagnosis or anything? Because there's a lot you could do to get them to a place where they need to be, or but rugby for sure has some shoulders involved in it. But I think you can give it a go. Find out. It's going to take you 3 practices to realize how frequently your shoulder's used in the sport. And if it's too much for you or too, no shame, get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Matthew Wajda says, Gabrus, you can do 500 pounds deadlift. So that's nice. It says, have you guys seen that Thor is going to pull 501K?
Yeah, I saw that. Half Thor is going for 501. The guy who plays the Mountain on.
Really?
Yeah. I think current
of Game of Thrones, that big with a little girlfriend.
He's always posting on like Instagram. He's like our fitness company, and he's got like a girlfriend who's like up to his waist. Yeah,
but that's
like a Hobbit or something.
That's like 1,000 pounds, right?
Oh, it's
501 kilos. Yeah, 2.2 pounds. 2.2
yeah,
pounds.
It's like 11. It's like 11. It's like high 11s or something.
Holy
like that.
shit!
Yeah.
This is let's see here from where did I just see this? Oh, Jordan Hurdy asked, will Gabrus cut the beard down when he drops enough LBs?
No, the beard's not hiding anything. I know, like it's not like if I didn't have this beard, everyone would know I'm fat. Like I'm a giant person. Like it's not the beard that tricks people.
Josh Hurwitz, both you guys have dabbled in creatine. I know Eugene recently, he asked, do you guys take creatine? If so, what dosage? So I remember you did it. You just omitted the loading phase, right?
Yeah.
Into maintenance.
I just got right into the 5. Like the single, the single dose of like after you finish the loading phase, whatever. I think it's basically a teaspoon.
Yeah, they have a recommended dosage, and a lot of them will say do this loading.
I think a lot of people say 5 Gs, 5 milligrams.
5 milligrams.
5 milligrams a day.
A day.
Before or after, or even like if it's just every morning. I think because loading is not a thing they recommend anymore, right? That's an old holdover now.
Yeah, because at this point you're just gonna, what you're gonna gain from it. You don't need to get your body. I mean, for the most part, people were loading on it to like kind of shock the system to start using the creatine, but it's like you're fine.
That's the funniest fitness term. Dude, you got to shock your system, dude.
Yeah.
You have to shock your system. There's always like shocking your system with weights, with food, with fucking pussy.
And then there's always a scene in a medical show or movie where it's like he's in shock, and it's like you never hear the doctor go, "Shocking the system is actually really good."
Dude, he's gonna be fucking jacked when he wakes up.
When he gets out of this, we got to keep the body confused and shocked. It's like what?
Muscle confusion. Matthew Moynihan asked, any cable pull down variations? I just built a pull down system in my garage. Well, easy on the brags, Matthew.
Yeah.
Damn, I got some severe envy as someone who can't do a home pull-up bar due to structural integrity of their poorly built apartment rubbing up against with their body weight. And there's no like nearby monkey bars in my hood. I would kill for some pull-down capabilities.
What about are those spree bands? It's not enough to even do as like bicep curls on, huh? They're not
that. Yeah, I have the heaviest one. I threw it over like the second floor stairs, and we're just trying to do like standing pull downs to get as close as I could.
Double them up.
Yeah, I might do that. I might have to start doing that and fucking around that way. But pull downs, like just Google like pull down machine and just look at all the different handles. That kind of teaches you the variance. It's like sometimes you want your hands pronated, sometimes you want them supinated, sometimes you want them wide, sometimes you want them close, sometimes you want like chin up grip, sometimes you want football bar grip, or wide like thick grip for like forearms and shit. Right? Like that's
and I guess if you really try. if you're trying to push what you can play around with, since it's like, you're limited in what you got. If you really want to push some weight, you can do, eccentric, so you can use your body weight to kind of pull down and then do work eccentric coming up.
Yeah.
Just for some kind of variation. And I'm with Gabrus that, and then, arms out and extended down.
Yeah. Straight arms.
I used to do that. I used to do that shit for abs back in the day when I was a little, like, you would just like take the close bar and be like,
core, he pulls your lats in there too. And then you've got like the tricep variations and all the stuff you can do, anything from that, like that higher angle.
Yeah. And I guess even on a smaller scale too, you can do like 90-degree completely vertical pull downs. And then you could also do like the 70-degree kind of like
lean just back.
The lean back into just a tweak where you're hitting that hits like a little more rear delts than the lower one, than your lower lats with this one.
Yeah. No more of the behind the neck joints though.
No, that although I will say one thing I do fuck around with is wide grip behind the neck press. Super light, just to feel like because I still play rugby once a year, so I just want my neck and shoulders and like traps to always feel. So I'm always doing like different overhead or pulls or shrugs with like in all different angles and stuff. And that's that dude Klokov got me into this because it's like a lot of Olympic lifters do it to build that like fucking snatch strength and shit. Yeah.
To lock out in a snatch. Yeah.
Hannah Gray, happy belated 420 to Gabrus. Sophie Lomir, somebody last week asked a question about Theragun. I am, she says, just abusing herself with a crossball a lot. Do you guys have any opinions about the Theragun? Have you used it?
I haven't really had any extent like of using one of those yet, but Stanger, do you have one of those?
So for people that don't, I don't have one, but for people that don't know, that you've probably seen them now. If you follow anybody fitness wise on Instagram, they pop up in the feed, and they're these guns that they look like a cordless drill, and they've got like a really high power, like dildo thing on.
Yeah, it's like a handheld Sybian, more or less.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. Not to use the Sybian to explain stuff,
but they have different attachments on the front that you can use to get into your fascia and do some kind of like, soft tissue work around joints and muscles. And I've used them before. I don't know if they're worth the money because they're, upwards of $200 or $300.
Oh yeah, they're crazy expensive right now.
And I think that the more expensive ones are more quiet. The cheaper ones you get, they're fucking loud as shit. It sounds like somebody literally jackhammering. Like, what is this, fucking Total Recall?
Nice.
I guess
recall.
Maybe that's what. Maybe that's what's going on, because Tiffany's always in. Maybe she's using a Theragun. She's always in the bedroom with the door shut. And she's using sounds like really loud jackhammering.
That's
no, dude. She's jerking off, dude.
That's her 30 minutes. That's her getaway for 30 minutes.
I'm in the shower, high as fuck. In there, dude. I'm in the shower drinking fucking whey protein with collagen and powdered greens. And my wife's using a Theragun as a new husband.
Honking her donk, dude. Yeah. No, they are cool. I mean, I say if you have the finances, like I've done it and I felt, I mean, it's shocking how powerful and intense the feeling is that you get from them. And like, getting into like your shoulder, like I have a little bicep tendonitis. So being able to like get into that front part of my shoulder and, working the IT band and all that kind of stuff. Worth checking out if it makes sense financially.
I will say I haven't heard one person who bought it and said like, what a waste. Every person I know bought it. Yeah. And granted, they could be rationalizing their purchase to me, but every single person I know that bought a Theragun kind of thing, they all dug it for what it was doing.
It also depends though, because
yeah.
I have seen a bunch of people that have it and I ask them about it, but it's still kind of sitting in its box or whatever. It's just like anything where it's like, oh, hey, how's that kettlebell? It's like, oh, I love it, man. It's heavy.
I love it. I can't wait till the quarantine's over so I can never think about it again.
Yeah.
I think for Sophie, though, who has been using this lacrosse ball, she's used to the discomfort from that kind of soft tissue stuff. So the gun, if it makes sense financially, I say go for it. I haven't done enough research to promote you or to pitch you like a cheaper brand, or recommend a cheaper brand, I should say. Pitch, promote, or recommend. But yeah, worth looking into. Red Hands NH asks if anybody's ever tried cryotherapy. Both you guys have. I've tried it too. You haven't yet, Eugene?
No.
I dug it.
I did it. I did. I've never done like spot cryo, just like the full body 3-minute blast. Yeah. I dug it. I like the feeling I felt being freezing cold. Like I like taking a cold shower or a hot sauna. Like I like the extremes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't track any metrics, but I did it after like a couple of long runs, like the day after like 9-mile runs and shit, or after a half. And I felt good. It feels, but it could just be like the placebo effect if it feels good to just be cold for a few minutes. And then you're like, yeah. Refresh, and you feel, but they'll tell you like you're burning calories all day or something like that. I still have, if this fucking business, the one by me, goes out of business in this quarantine, this is the most fucking first world problem ever. But I have like 4 left on my fucking, like I paid for 4 more cryo sessions. And they haven't been open for like a month and a half.
Sure, yeah.
So if they close down, I'm about to eat like $150 worth of fucking cryo.
I would say that I did enjoy it, but it does feel a little like a luxury. I felt more intense benefit from doing ice baths, like it just staying colder for longer. Right. And we had Tony Cavallero on last week, and he talked about how he
changed like a chest freezer,
a refrigerated cold chest that he used caulking on to make it watertight, and then created like his own cold plunge for like, and it cost him like $300, which I thought
that's awesome. I've seen some people online doing it in like big ass fish coolers.
Yeah.
So, you know, like those big ass igloos or Yetis you buy. Like,
oh yeah.
Granted, like people are all different sizes, so like you need a specific one. But that
also those coolers are expensive as shit when they start becoming that big. Yeah.
But I'd imagine some people might already own them, like for non cold plunge purposes. But
they'll smell like fish.
Yeah. But I usually get a bunch of fish guts and blood, and I just fucking dunk myself in there and say, scream, "He is born again!" as I walk out into the street. Fucking car hits me.
Open your mouth and get those omegas before you die. Owen Robertson says that in reference to the Theragun, there's a plug-in wall brand, WAHL. They make like clippers and stuff. Wall brand for $40 from Amazon. It works great.
Really?
Oh, the issue is that you can't bring it to the gym because it's got like a
plug in.
But if I'm only doing that shit, I'm not getting caught in public being like, like hammering your thigh. Oh, I'm so sore from lunges. Oh, and your neighbor's like, what the fuck? Like, you gotta do that shit in a fucking soundproof booth.
Why is that thing up your ass?
I did butt yesterday at the gym. Butts and buys.
Owen Robertson also asked Gabrus, have you been feeling the benefits of the Volcano vape on your health?
I will say the Volcano has been very helpful. I've been running a lot. I haven't been feeling any, but I don't smoke enough like flower like joints to feel like get smoker's cough or anything like that. But the Volcano the ideal thing about it is I don't have to go outside to use it because my wife is working, so the house doesn't need to smell like pot all day while she works. I don't have to go outside to use it, so I don't have to interact with all my crazy, lonely neighbors who probably can hear me through the open window. But a lot of people. I live in an apartment complex, so if you're out in the driveway, people start interacting with you because we're all a little lonely. So, and I'm not lonely enough to start talking to my fucking neighbors. That's for sure. No, I'm friendly with all of them, but refuse to be friends with any of them.
Beautiful. Well, Gabrus, man, we can't thank you enough for coming to join us, dude. This was awesome.
This was fun for me, dude. I'm so pumped. Expect tons of Eddie Hall links being sent to your phone in the next.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm like, I still keep looking down my phone just to look at that picture again and be like, Jesus, like it just looks like an animal.
Yeah. Eugene had a major breakthrough on that. He's like, abs aren't made in the kitchen.
Yeah. Huge. That's literally made in testosterone, gym, and some steroids, but
and his dad's balls.
Before we get out of here, real quick, is that like Stanger? Is that just the benefit of having maybe 180 to 200 pounds of lean muscle mass on your body. Like if you start eating clean and just getting your numbers right, your body's he's got to be burning 6,000 calories just walking around at 400 pounds.
I mean, well, yeah, totally. And you'll see like those guys that like the Olympia guys are limited in what cardio they do for competition. They'll start doing and they walk on an incline for like an hour. They don't have to do anything hardcore because their machines are just so big that they're ripping into that body fat.
Yeah.
No problem. They just burn so many calories just to exist.
Well, I mean, it's the sense of like you see any of those huge muscular heavyweights in the UFC or in like, especially in like kickboxing, you see those real muscle bound dudes. After the first round, they're spent. It doesn't matter how well built they are. Their muscles have just taken over.
Yeah. Cardio shape, it's all different, and so that just helps you achieve like an even higher level of leanness too, outside of whatever drugs they're taking. Having that much lean tissue allows you to like rip through adipose tissue like it's no business. Like it's no business, like it's nobody's business.
Nobody's business like somebody's business.
Big Rise fatigued from talking for an hour and 10 minutes.
No, that makes sense.
I'm exhausted from doing my one thing today. I better fucking get high and veg out after this. It is 4 p.m. after all.
Yeah. So give us some links to things that you're doing, Gabrus, so that people can watch at home and
sure. I'm at Gabrus on all social media, and I always plug that on podcasts, but in all honesty, I've actually been tweeting and Instagramming. The one behavior I've added in the quarantine is the one I've been trying to limit outside of the quarantine. I've been doing more phone and social media. Really turning a corner. But also check out my podcast, High and Mighty. These guys have both been guests before, and I have a podcast with the talent behind Dumbbells, Ryan Stanger, and Ben Rogers, called Action Boys. It costs money to listen to, so I totally get. Now in the quarantine, you don't want to pay for that, but we got like 6 or 7 free episodes listed on the Patreon page. Click on those links, check them out there.
And soon to get Eugene on as a guest if we can get the timing right.
As soon as Eugene, when he learns that it is for at least 2 hours and 2.5 hours talking about a single movie, he's like, oh, okay, yeah. So. All right, well, we should talk more.
Eugene does work and have a family, so
right. And the Action Boys Venn diagram is like, some of us don't work but have a family, some of us work but have no family, and then some of us are neither.
Shit. Well, hey, we want to thank everybody out there on the live feed for hanging out and asking questions. We'll be back here 2:30 next week.
Yeah.
And if you have a question for us,
yes. If you want to reach out to us, you can on all social media at the Dumbbells. If you want to email us, you can do so at askthedumbbells@gmail.com.
And on behalf of myself and Eugene Cordero, the Dumbbells, and our wonderful guest today, John Gabrus, doing some hammer curls as we speak. The first thing that Bloodshot does when he finds out he has powers, we would like to remind everybody to that's out there listening right now to train dirty,
eat clean,
and live in between.
Yeah, baby.
Betwixt.